Yes, you are being target ulted by the enemy team. They are using their Unite moves on you on purpose, and a lot of the time, it makes sense. Jake, your resident content cowboy here, yeehaw, and let's talk about being targeted maybe too aggressively by the enemy team with their Unite moves. First, I want to take a look at a clip here from Sanji on Twitter. He is a professional Pokemon Unite player. I know he's dabbled in some other games as well. You may know him from Team TOS, and I think this clip is really interesting. Here we see Sanji is playing Water Bear, the Rapid Strike style Urshifu. He's level 14, making his way into the Rayquaza pit. We can see up on the minimap. We're not sure where all the enemies are, but we know where the Trevenant looks like a Lapras is. Pikachu right here uses the Unite move on site.
Look at this ego, bro! What the?
So there you go. There is our clip. There's what happens in this moment here. And in the moment that it happens, he's saying he's getting ego ulted. They're going after the streamer, and they're definitely targeting him with Unite moves. Let's take a look at this play right here, because I think it actually speaks a lot to just something I've been thinking about in Unite, which is why you are getting hit with Unite moves and why sometimes it makes a lot of sense. So let's take a look at what's happening here in this clip. We can see there is an Espeon and an Urshifu kind of in the central area. There's Sanji and another player on his team. We see the Espeon moving down and over towards the right here. If we look closer on the mini map, we can actually see that Trevenant, Dodrio, and no, Sylveon's behind, so it's, I think, Trevenant, Dodrio, and Goodra are all kind of tangling down there at that bottom L bush, and we don't know where the rest of the enemy team is. So as we move forward, boom, right here, we see two members of the enemy team pop onto the screen, Scizor and Pikachu. As soon as Pikachu sees this Urshifu and knows that it's Goodra, I assume it knows, is not around because we can see where Goodra is, Pikachu immediately decides to tap its Unite move. It does it as soon as it is in range of Urshifu, moves in towards Urshifu, continues to move in, jumps in with a Volt Tackle, grabbing Urshifu, knocking it up into the air, while we see Dodrio and Scizor moving in afterwards. We have a Unite move from Scizor and a Unite move from Dodrio. A huge splash of damage right here, and boom, Urshifu is gone in an instant. And for a moment there, even if Sanji is kidding in this clip, it really does feel like you're being targeted by all of these Unite moves, specifically because you are who you are. This is something that streamers have to deal with, and it's not something that a ton of players maybe have to deal with. Perhaps if you have TV or YT or TTV or something like that in your name, you notice this comes up more often. As someone who streams this game a lot, I can tell you that people do try to target you. They try to get into your games. They specifically want to beat the streamer. This is nothing new. This is actually definitely something that happens inside of Pokemon Unite, but I think what happens more often is you are a certain Pokemon that is a very high value target, and because you're a high value target, they're very aware that if you go down, the rest of the game could go down with you. As we can see right here, I'm not sure if the enemy teams knows that Espeon is there, but they definitely know Urshifu is there without their team's defender. They throw all of their resources at it because it is a level 14 Pokemon, and as soon as it goes down, they have a chance to wipe the rest of the enemy team without this huge menace there. And you have to think, there are a lot of Pokemon that you would actually not want to have in the fight, and there are a lot of Pokemon that you would not want to use your Unite move on. So in a situation like this, what should you expect to happen? If you're a Pokemon like Urshifu, Espeon, Delphox, Decidueye, it's actually really reasonable that the enemy team is going to blow their Unite moves trying to take you down. If you're a Pokemon like Lapras, Trevenant, Goodra, maybe one of the tankier support type Pokemon, it's actually less reasonable to assume that everyone is going to burn all of their Unite moves on you. But without question, inside of a match of Pokemon Unite, whether it's a Lapras or whether it's an Aegislash or Duraludon, whatever the Pokemon is, if you are targeted, taken down, and the match starts to become uneven, 4 Pokemon versus 5, then 3 versus 5, etc., that just makes it easier and easier and easier for the team with more Pokemon to win. In Pokemon Unite, it is irrelevant how low your health is. The only thing that is relevant is if you are out of combat. So if you are able to get a KO, even if you are throwing everything in the kitchen sink at it, basically, you could be putting yourself in a position to win a fight as opposed to lose a huge huge fight at Rayquaza. So having this information in hand, or this thought process in the forefront of your mind, what should you do in these moments? Well, if you're a Pokemon, again, like a Delphox, something squishy, an attacker that outputs insane amounts of damage, you should try to play around your allies so that you're not easily made the first target of everything that is thrown at you. And in the same respect, if you're a Pokemon that's looking to score a big KO, you should look to score that big KO on something squishy, and preferably something that can't get away. Pokemon right now that has huge priority in all these moments, of course, is Glaceon. If you're able to get in and stop Glaceon before it's able to hit you with its insane combo of Icicle Spears, it could change the outcome of that fight in a huge way. Another Pokemon you may have heard of that was just recently added to the game, I don't know if you've seen it in any matches yet, is Zacian. Zacian is the perfect example of a Pokemon that is a little tough to take down, pretty difficult to fight, but at the same time, as they said in the patch notes, if you gang up on this thing as a team and take it down really quick, you can change the outcome of your match. And as soon as one Pokemon goes down, it makes it easier for the next, and the next, and the next, and it makes it easier for you to secure Rayquaza. So yes, a lot of the time, if you're playing certain Pokemon, you are being targeted. They are targeting you. And they should be. Now, it's not surprising that someone like Sanji here, or a streamer like myself, or Gotlu, or Chris Heroes, or Inder, or something like that, would know that yes, there are times you are being targeted. I also have to say, to be totally fair, and I don't even like this as a reality, but it is true, if I was in a game against Gotlu, and I had my opportunity to use my Unite move on Gotlu's Dodrio, or some person I've never heard of, I mean, he's a former European champion. I have a good feeling I know where that Unite move is going to go. I'm just saying, I don't like being target Unite moved either. I don't like being target invaded. I don't like people going, that's Spragels, let's get him. And I'm sure you don't either if you have any of these reasons that someone would target you. But I also kind of get it. Like, you kind of get it, right? It's not confusing that someone might actually target someone they know and go, oh, you know who I heard is pretty good at this game? Chris Heroes. I might end up targeting him with my Slowbro Unite. Like, yeah. Yeah. What? Yes. So that's just the truth of being a streamer and being someone who's public inside of a game. Or if you're someone who's very, very good and you become known for your role, known as playing this Pokemon, people see this name all the time, they'll think in their heads, I need to target this Cinderace because this Cinderace is very good. And also, as a Pokemon like a Cinderace or a Shifu, as we saw in our clip a little bit earlier, you are a high priority target. You're a little difficult to take down, but with a big burst of damage, you could be wiped off the map, have a huge timer because you're a level 14, you've probably gotten a ton of KOs, and it just puts your team in an easy position to win. This is something you should be thinking about as a Pokemon that's in that final fight. What is the enemy's priority towards using a Unite move on me? If I'm a Lapras, I would say the enemy's priority is pretty low. In fact, if I soak up 4 Unite moves as a Lapras, I feel like I kind of did my job a little bit. I mean, I took as much of the damage as I could for the team, hopefully displaced them so that they're not near my squishier allies, and as a tank, I soaked up as much as I could. Sometimes that is your job inside of a match of Pokemon Unite. Now, on the same token, if I am an Espeon or Decidueye, and I move past the line of my team, I don't have vision on my opponents, and they pop out and get me, well, that makes a lot of sense too. You're a squishy target, a good target. If they can KO a Decidueye early inside of a fight and it doesn't get to use its Spirit Shackle, they're in a great spot. So for Unite move priority, try to get those high value targets, the squishier targets, the ones that are easier to take down in a big old burst that your opponents can't save, their mages, their squishier attackers, things like that. And if you happen to be one of those and the enemies are coming at you, that's a good time to notice like, oh, I need to position myself well so it's at least difficult to get to me and use the Unite moves, and hopefully they will get punished for using them in this fashion. It's funny, I thought this video was an interesting topic, and I've actually had it on my list for a while, why they target Unite Move You, and then I saw this great clip, which a lot of people have been talking about on Twitter, so I thought this would be a great time to make the video. Thanks for watching, thanks for listening, I hope this was interesting and you learned something. If you like what I'm doing here, like, comment, subscribe, it means a lot. I have a ton of stuff coming out soon, so if you like and subscribe, that helps me out a bunch. Thank you all, I love you, and I'll see you soon. Mwah.